and give you a choice, fixing the couch or putting up the wallpaper. She unrolled a section to show them. What do you think of this? It's kind of plain, isn't it? Jack stared at the dizzying beige pattern. That's the back. I knew that, Chrissy said cheerfully, flipping it over to reveal an even worse explosion of mustard yellow and brown flowers. I like the back better. Jack groaned, leaning against the broken couch. I'll give you a third choice, fixing the couch, or putting up the wallpaper, or going to the pub down the street. Chrissy's eyes lit up. I picked that one. Let's go. Moving out, Jack declared, heading for the door. Oh, hey, wait for me, Jonna yelled, tossing the hammer onto the sofa and chasing after them. Chapter 12, The Regal Beagle Encounter. The local pub, affectionately known to the neighborhood as the Regal Beagle, was dimly lit, smelled of stale beer and peanuts, and was currently playing host to one of the largest human beings Jack had ever seen in his life. The man was a mountain of muscle wrapped in a tight t-shirt, leaning aggressively against the bar near where Jack, Jonna, and Chrissy were trying to enjoy a quiet round of drinks. So once we got past the breakwater, the large man boasted loudly to his terrified-looking companion, ensuring his voice carried to the girls' table. I said to her, what do you say you and me go below and mess around? Jack rolled his eyes, taking a sip of his beer. Hey, that smooth talk gets him every time. She also knew it was a long swim back to shore. The man continued laughing raucously. What happened to her boyfriend? His friend squeaked. He's probably still swimming. The giant slapped his knee. Jonna leaned across the table. Wait. Let's get one thing straight. This is just a little work break. We're not going to spend the whole night here. Relax, will you? Jack said to Chrissy. She's such a slave driver. Look, we'll just have a couple of beers, then we'll go back. You can work on the walls and Chrissy. Now get on the sofa. What? To work. Let's grab this table. Jack corrected himself quickly. The large man at the bar, whose name was apparently Kong if his bicep tattoo was to be believed, noticed the girls. He abandoned his friend and swaggered over to their table. Oh, ain't that a shame? Kong rumbled, looking down at Jack. That poor guy got stuck with two broads. I think I'll do him a favor. Jack forced a smile. You got a good heart. Yeah. Just watch the old pro in action, Kong sneered, sliding a chair over and sitting uninvited right next to Chrissy. He leaned in, entirely ignoring Jack. Hi, honey. Buy you a drink? Chrissy looked terrified. No, thanks. Go ahead, Jack. We're really interested, Jonna said loudly, trying to redirect the conversation back to their own table. You were saying, huh? Excuse me, Jack said to Kong, trying to establish some boundaries. Well, what I meant was, you just can't ignore the physical differences. All through the ages, men have been the builders, the protectors. Kong interrupted, leaning closer to Chrissy. You know, I've always been partial to blondes. That's nice, Chrissy squeaked, shrinking into her seat. Have you thought about getting yourself a cocker spaniel? Hey, you don't know what you're missing, Kong pressed, leaning his massive arm on the table. Why don't you take a walk? I've got a 35-foot cabin cruiser. All right, take a cruise, Jack finally snapped, feeling a surge of protective adrenaline. Go with him, Jack. Kong slowly turned his head, fixing his beady eyes on Jack. What? Ahead? Jack stammered, the adrenaline instantly turning to ice water in his veins. Well, what I meant was, that men are physically stronger than the opposite. Hey, listen, are you with anybody? Kong asked Chrissy, gesturing dismissively at Jack. I am with him, Chrissy said, pointing a trembling finger at Jack. Kong scoffed. Him. Oh, well, yes, in a sense. Jack backpedaled rapidly. I mean, we're all together, platonically. Kong stood up, towering over the table. He grabbed Jack by the collar of his shirt, lifting him slightly out of his chair. Hey, son, do me a favor. But out. Jack swallowed hard. Listen, I think I should warn you. The last guy who warned me about something got all his teeth knocked out. Kong glared. Oh, well, I wouldn't want that to happen. Jack babbled nervously. My father paid a fortune for my braces. Kong shoved Jack back into his chair with a grunt of disgust. He pointed a meaty finger at Chrissy. I'll be back here tomorrow, babe. But don't bring him along. He frightens me. Kong laughed at his own joke and swaggered out of the pub. Jack sat in silence for a long moment, avoiding the girls' gazes. He smoothed his collar. Well, I didn't want to cause a scene. No sense in that, Jana said tightly, staring into her drink. No. You were perfectly right, Jack, Chrissy said, trying to be supportive, though her voice betrayed her disappointment. I wasn't scared or anything. Hey, you did the right thing, Jana added, her tone dripping with sarcasm. You stood up to him. Yes, and then you sat down again. Chapter 13. A matter of courage. The next morning, Jack was pacing the kitchen, feeling utterly miserable. He was wearing his apron, but the joy of cooking had completely abandoned him. Good morning, Jana said, walking in and sitting at the table. I am all ready and waiting for my cooking lesson. Jack didn't look at her. You're going to show me how to make a cheese omelet. Remember, she prodded.